feeling ahead of tomorrow?
I'm feeling good, honestly. Feeling positive. Just excited to be home in front of the fans. I feel like the 2 away games we played, they had their home opener. So I'm excited to get ours finally back at Hartford 2025. Just the group is excited, honestly.
What does this group look like this year?
It's more younger, more, I would say, energy. More likely to press, more likely to run, press teams off the field. I think the intensity is high in every single drill we do in practice, and that's what we want to replicate in the game. And it's just about we're more, I would say, together now, more like a family. We're trying to build that camaraderie, that chemistry. So I think tomorrow you could see a high press and high intensity team.
How does it help with your comfort knowing there are a lot of returning players back from last year?
That's always good. When a team could keep the core, that's always good. It helps the newcomers, and as you know, we have a lot of young guys, so the veteran guys could walk them through the process, walk them through the expectation and standards that we set for ourselves each day, that we want to implicate as a club, as a culture we're trying to set.
You mentioned being excited for the home opener. Last season, this club had great results at home.
Yeah.
What do you see as being the key thing for getting those great results at home again this season?
I think a good, hard, intense start is a key. If we could welcome them to Hartford the right way, I think that could kill their confidence. When a team's on the road and come all the way from El Paso, I think it's just the intensity right off. They have the long travel, long commute. It's just setting intensity. Go from there. We're trying to get the crowd behind us. If we get the crowd cheering, I think that would give us even extra energy. The crowd could be the 12th man for sure.
2 p.m. kickoff tomorrow, which is kind of is a little bit different from the typical game day. How does that affect your preparation? 2 versus 7.
Yeah, it's about a 5-hour difference, but at the same time, it's just a game. We look forward to the game, no matter what time it is. It could be at 10 o'clock. We train this early anyway, so we'll still have somewhat of a feel, understanding to it. We know Saturday we're used to 7 o'clock games, 6 o'clock games, but I don't think it changed much. The mind, the focus, and the commitment is to get 3 points tomorrow.
How are you feeling, Coach? Ahead of tomorrow.
Good. We have 3 and 8 days coming up, but we just have to focus one at a time. So it's all eyes on El Paso for us, and we're expecting great weather and a good crowd. So we're excited.
What does this team look like going into the season?
I think we're in a far better position than we were at the start of last season. We're still missing 1 or 2 guys, but we're in much better shape in general. And a lot of our veteran players, Jordan Scarlett and Marlon Harrison, those guys are in mid-season form already, so that should leave us in a better position in the long run.
When you have a lot of returning guys, how does it help you transition into a new year?
Oh, the continuity's been great. Having 10 guys back has just made a world of difference in the locker room and helping to integrate the new guys. So it's been pretty seamless from that standpoint, and I know we haven't returned the same core group of players in a long time here, so this is it's a big opportunity for us, and we know that.
What gets you the most excited ahead of a new season?
To see who's going to break through, honestly. To see who's going to break through and help us win games, which young guy is going to step up the way Mo did last year. Will it be Addy? Will it be one of the other young guys that have come in like Junior? You just don't know until the lights are on, until the games start. So now we're about to head into the thick of it, and it feels like, we'll be in a good rhythm by next weekend.
Is there anybody that stood out to you? Anybody that's really impressed you?
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys. Diz Pay certainly stands out. He brings size, he brings athleticism to the back line that we might not have had last year. Certainly ability to help us solidify ourselves defensively on set pieces. That was an important part of why we went and got him. He's been very good. Addy has been excellent. You saw him in that first Open Cup game. He adds a goal and an assist in his first time playing here. And he has a lot of goals and assists already in his young career, so I'm excited for him as well.
After the Lexington game, you mentioned feeling kind of disconnected in midfield. How do you assess improvement in the Pittsburgh game, and what are you looking for in that area of the pitch?
Well, there was a massive improvement in the Pittsburgh game in terms of connectedness. What there wasn't in Pittsburgh was flow to our play on the ball, but we defended well. I mean, when you outshoot Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, you've defended well, and we did. They put 3 on target. We missed the target in 2 sitter situations. Can't do that on the road and win a game.
One of those sitters, obviously, Momo, pressure early on, doing everything right, just didn't have the finish. Kind of similar to the start of last season, the Birmingham game, doing all the things right except scoring. What does he need obviously opening up a game aside to start finishing those?
We know Mo's going to score goals, and Mo knows he's going to score goals. We worked all week on that exact trapping situation going into Pittsburgh, and so to have it work that well after 35 seconds, I think it gives us more belief in what we're doing, and we trust those guys in front of goal. At some point, Michi's going to go on a tear. At some point, Mo's going to go on a tear, and someone else is going to step in. When Samuel is back into the team, it could be him. It could be JJ. There's any number of guys that will find great form as long as we're defending well as a unit. So that was the most important part of that connectivity that I was talking about missing in Lexington. We made a big jump down in Pittsburgh.
Home game coming up. Last year, results were great at home. I think 31 points at home was 4th or 5th best in the league. What is it that you need this season to continue that kind of success at home?
We just need to prepare the exact same way we did last year, and now we've added a few pieces that we felt like we're missing to make that a consistent reality. But we were excellent at home. Our crowds were excellent at home. The energy's just different here. Jordan was just talking about it to the team. And we need to find better road form. That's another reality. So we might have to look at changing how we go about things on the road. But certainly at home, we know our identity, we know who we are, and we performed at a really high level last year.
And then from this game, a really quick turnaround to go on the road in the Open Cup to Portland Hearts of Pine. Don't want to distract from the El Paso game, but talk a little bit more about the Cup and what progressing in that means.
I think it's great, and now you're going to have so many more regional rivalries going forward. So to get to play Portland in that competition, but also Jägermeister later in the year, is great for us. It's got to be a source of pride. It's got to be a source of honor to whether we have to play them at their place or here to establish who the bigger club is.
What does Sebastian bring to the table?
Intelligence, technique. He's as good an outside back as I think there is in this league. He might not be searing pace or anything like that, but he reads the game well. He helps control the game from the back. He's a good individual defender, certainly a very good defender in small groups because he communicates so well. So I think he adds many, many things to the group.
We're going to talk to him. What you ask him?
You could ask him anything, quite frankly. He has a great sense of humor, so you can't really trip him up.
How's this transition been for you?
Yeah, it's been good. It's obviously great. I know some of the players, Brendan as well, Wheels. So it's been a smooth transition. The club's done well to help me get over here and get me acclimated and all that. So it's been good.
What gets you excited about a new season?
I heard the fans here are incredible. I heard that the fans here are loud, they're supportive, all that stuff, and just excited to get here for the first game of the season and hopefully get a win.
You have kind of a whole new back line this season, and then in the early going, some injuries, some guys missing with international duty. How does that kind of disrupt that process of coming together as a unit? Yeah,
like you said, it's just a little disruptive, It's not something that we're new to. We obviously knew these guys are important players for their international teams, all that sort of stuff. So we kind of came into it knowing that some guys might be gone, but it's just kind of that next man up mentality. We have good players on the bench that will come in and fill those roles. So we're prepared. We knew that was going to happen, and we have guys that will come off the bench and fill in their roles.
For you personally, what's the difference between being on the road and playing at home?
Yeah, for me the biggest thing is just the fans. Obviously having the fan support at home is something you can't get anywhere else, and this the feeling that you get when you have the whole stadium behind you. It also helps having similar same field, all that sort of stuff, a place that that you've been to, you've played before, so that's always helpful. It's definitely important to go on the road though and eke away those wins. It's important to get wins, results on the road, but even more important to get those 3 points at home every single time.
What's your relationship like with Brendan?
Brendan and I have a really good relationship. We go back to 2021, and obviously when he first heard that I was potentially looking to come to USL, he was the first one to hit my phone, So it's like I have a big respect for him, his family, everyone, and obviously seeing the great things that he did at Switchbacks, and obviously seeing them win this last year as well is a large part to him, the culture he brought over there and all that. So hopefully he can bring it over here and do the same.
He says you have a great sense of humor. Any comments on that?
Yeah, I'd like to say I'm a funny guy. I like to crack a joke and take a joke, but I'll leave it at that.